All right, I'm going to start my live stream here. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education and entertainment purposes only. And yeah, we'll just kind of jump into the questions, and I'm sure we'll cover a lot of things on the channel as we get going. I'll start at the top. Bomb in Roblox and Square. Roblox. Yeah, we haven't heard about this one in a while. I thought it looked like it was trying to come off a bottom last time we looked. Um, but it's been a while since I looked at this. Yeah, see, it's coming off a bottom here. So we're getting close to a 3 of 3 breakout for the next cycle higher. This is some kind of this is an accumulation area. So yeah, just any moment. Probably time with earnings is what I'm thinking. But you'll have to do what's best for you. But I mean, that looks like a 1-2, 1-2. It looks like it's ready for 3 of 3. So that's what it looks like to me, but I can be wrong. So do what's best for you. All right. Next is Square. Square. How's that one been doing? I think we called the bottom on this on our channel here. We called the bottom. We have this as our target here in the flat, and uh, yeah, it could be finished, just truncate it. So more than likely, the 2 is done. Looking at the daily cycle reset higher, so more than likely that wave is finished, and we should be turning higher. And that's why I think it tends to trade with crypto, and I do think that crypto potentially has already bottomed. So there you go. Those are those two. Tesla. So Tesla was a good trade for our channel because we called that way before anyone got in on it. Right. We were in right around here, but we had to be patient, and impatience was rewarded. A lot of impatient traders, and this is a lesson in patience. If you're so impatient, like, why is it moving? You said to buy it, it didn't move. Oh, Elliot Sage, you don't know what you're doing. Like, dude, you're an amateur trader. Like, if that's your mentality trading, then you need to really self-reflect because you cannot make these big wins and not be patient. You're going to lose your money. So if you're feeling emotions of impatience and like anger because it's just not doing it. It's what's wrong, and you are wrong, and you want to get mad, then you're in the wrong. You're doing it wrong. So this just was patience, and the patience paid off. And in fact, it could keep going. So Tesla, the count on Tesla is like I have it here. Okay, so this first impulse is finishing up. Okay, so I think it's gonna top out here somewhere around this area, this vicinity where I'm circling my cursor, and then pull back and maybe back test the breakout channel. You know, back test this, and then we should really see some fireworks. Isn't there a big robo-taxi event in August? Perhaps that's the catalyst to get us to the real launch phase in this stock. This isn't it. The real launch phase comes, you know, when this move happens, like a move like that happens. We're like here, okay? We're like somewhere in there. This is what we want. Now look what happens when, you know, well, so we know that this will happen too, right? So you got to know in the ring to register. So my Tesla chart has always been, guys, I posted the Tesla chart back in early 22. It may still be on my Twitter channel. This is the Tesla's going to see the $700 area. I know people don't believe that. No one thought that could happen, but now maybe people are starting to believe in that. Will it get there overnight? Probably not. In the next couple years, yeah, probably will be. So what's your time horizon? But when we get up there, then it probably is time to leave the trade. Because the thing with Tesla is it could just go straight vertical. So I don't like trading in and out of it because of that. So I just like to hold it. Hold it, right? Patience. So even if it does want to do a bigger pullback, right? What if it just, boom, it comes all the way back? Fine. It just becomes another 1-2. and it'll just go even more vertical. So Tesla was one of the best setups of the year because it was, so oversold for one of our big cap tech stocks, and it had clear three-wave setups. It was a real nice opportunity that worked. So yeah, anyone that bought TSLL here essentially doubled your money, right? You doubled your money, and I think it's going to go even higher. Robinhood should be getting ready to break out, and that makes sense if crypto's getting ready to break out, guys, because that likes to go more on crypto. This was another great trade of the year on our channel. I have it in this 1-2-1-2 pattern, and we should be getting ready to break out of this soon. We're looking for prices all the way up to $41. That's always been the target, and that comes from this area of resistance here. So clearly this was an accumulation phase, and our channel, we were accumulating it here. We had the buy here, right? We actually did a good swing. We bought it here. I think we sold some, and then we bought it again. And then there was even another opportunity right here. And then that's where it went vertical. Back test, see a back test, and now it's just going to grind higher. Robinhood could be the JP Morgan of the future, guys. It's the future. It's the bank of the future. It's clearly that, and if it's got crypto, that's going to secure its balance sheet for a long time. So that's what it looks like. So to me, it looks like that. Now, I can't get a flat. Perhaps it could do a trap. This looks like 5 up, but if it does a trap and this 2 drops, we're looking at $19. But it seems very unlikely given the wave structure. So that's how I look at Robinhood, guys. Nvidia and AMD, guys. I gave AMD on my last live stream. Someone asked my question, what's the best setup? I was like, AMD. God, AMD. And sure enough, Friday, AMD pound, man, jumped. Boom, just like Tesla. Another one, just was there for the taking. We should be finishing this 5th wave if it's not finished already. So I'd be looking for another pullback, but as you could see, we'll more than likely have just another one too. So I'm looking for into the 200s. Like, the problem I have with AMD on the higher time frame is I've got 5 down here. I can't. There's no other count. This 5 is 5. This is 5. This isn't a flat. This is not 3. This looks like 5 off this low. It's too significant of a drop. So I have to look at this as some kind of ABC correction. Now maybe the B will break this high at 230 and then rug pull later. So this one's a little different than Tesla if you're a long-term holder. But at some point, I do think there's another swing down, another swing lower. Or I don't like to stay in this trade too long. So I, personally will probably leave the trade in the 200s and just take the profit. Well, with Tesla, I'm going to hold for the big prize. I'm holding for the $600-700 target, the multi-year prize. Here, yeah, I'll just dump it here. And of course, the way to play this is AMDL, right? AMDL. But we're here. These were your entries, and now it's breaking out. And we almost took this high out. We really, so we're getting there. It's gonna come out. Then Nvidia is similar count. So we're in this 2. We're in a 2 of 5. Okay, we're in a 2 of 5. So we're in the final wave higher. Final wave higher. But what's the 2 going to do? Is it going to do this? Now, if this happens, this has got to be a correction in the indices, right? This has to be a correction in the indices. And maybe, AMD corrects this move, right? Maybe it comes back down to 165, right? So, and Tesla corrects its pump. So it's 50-50. Now, there's some semis that are weak right now that seem like they want another swing, and then there's others that are actually breaking these previous highs, like ARM. So it's a coin flip on what you want to call this. But I keep saying I'd rather bet up than down, given this market. So I'd rather just bet that this is the count for now, and then you'll have to do what's best for you as it grinds higher in what should be the final wave, unless it erases divergence again, which is always possible, and then it just keeps extending for a long time. But that's the count. But if it were to take a dump down here to 105, great opportunity. And then, play that in the leverage Nvidia fund. All right, I got some super chats coming in, guys. Appreciate that. So Anonymous, appreciate the $20. So crypto is really tricky at the moment on the higher time frames. So just the big picture before I answer your question. There's a couple things going on in this chart. I really never liked this corrective pattern and how to label it. I was struggling because this peak, this wick exceeded that peak. So this was the ideal way to label it as a flat. I went on other exchanges and I actually saw that this peak here actually is higher. So I think this is just a trade-in view, maybe incomplete data, the exchange. So I'm actually going to go with this, even though the peak is a little, not right, given that other. And then if you do this, this actually makes a lot of sense. And then you have your bullish divergence, which you want to see in a flat. So that's good. And then here's our target area, and boom, we hit it, and we're bouncing. Can we V-bottom out? So this is it. So I think this is an important. That's why I said crypto could be already bottoms here. We're seeing a lot of coins reverse already into their wave threes today on the shorter time frame, which is what I was looking at. So Link, this could be a massive bear trap trying to play this head and shoulders, and then oh shit, we get above the neckline. It was an oh shit short, bear trap. Bitcoin Cash, triple correct it. ETHE actually truncate it. Litecoin corrected a higher degree correction. And it looks like it's close. So crypto to me, I think the low's in. Now the question is this a 4 or is this another 1-2? And I think it's 50-50, guys. It's 50-50 if this is a wave 4 or wave 2. Okay. I think to be conservative, we label it as a wave 4. And then let it surprise us. You want to see it break 86,000, 88,000 to negate the 4. But it could be a 4 because look where it also found support. Right at the 618, which is typically the wave 4 retrace. So I'm going to call it a 4 for now. Will I leave crypto here? No. No way. Because yes, will there be if this is a 5, it's going to be a big pullback. A sharp pullback. This pullback should come back to the 4 and maybe exceed it. Maybe that could get to the 48,000 target. Okay. This is a conservative view. The other view is that's it. That's your last chance to buy sub 60,000 and you'll never see those prices again in your lifetime. And it can be the case. If it's a 1-2-1-2, we'll extend in 3, we'll come up to 130,000, and God knows what will happen in that scenario as this massive inverse head and shoulders continuation pattern plays out, and there's multiple confluences of targets at 130, 125. A lot of confluence. So there will be a lot of resistance. This is where a lot of resistance is going to be, right here. This is where you're going to have a lot of decisions to make. You know, do you sell? Do you hold? What do you want to do? But here, I think this is a continuation in Bitcoin. So now I'll go to your question and see, can it drop lower to 48,000? So I just showed you a scenario where it can go to 48,000, right? If it tops in 5 and pulls back. Here, this scenario, there's no way. There's no way, because the bounce is starting to become too strong. But let's check the RSIs just to make sure. So the 4-hour cycle's over, obviously, right? In that wave. This wave is done. This wave is corrected. So to get to 48,000, you're going to have to break this low. You're going to have to break 53.2 again. And then that'll get you to your 48,000. So really, you just put a stop there, and that would get you down to these lower targets. That's why I think the bottom's in, because the bounce has been too strong on the RSI. Let's look at the daily. We're not into all clear yet, so I keep an eye on the daily time frame as well. When the daily breaks that channel, then it's absolutely bottomed. But the 4 hours giving you a warning that there's a good chance it already has. The 48,000 scenario is this scenario, and I showed this earlier. You go 3, you go 4, you go 5. This would definitely be then a 1-2. It just changes the degree, and then you come down. Let's just face it, probably come down to this area here. And the only way I could see it get in there is a bounce that lasts several months, and then it fails, like you got here. You bounced, and then you had a catastrophic failure. That's the only black swan scenario I could think of in crypto that would have this count play out. You're bouncing where you're supposed to right now. You bounce around, and then, oh shit, election, or yeah, whatever, and it does that. That is in the back of my mind, guys. So think about that, you know, just think about that. But if this happens, just like you saw here, if you were trading back then, all you do is, if this happens, you don't look at your balance on your account, you just go and buy it. You just close your eyes and buy it, no matter what, because this is an unnatural decline. That's what this would be. So if you get this, but this is the black swan in crypto, guys, this pattern. And if you get that pattern in fractal, and it's like some kind of indice, like massive correction, you know, Nvidia's peaked at wave 5, like you get that, just pick it up in the 20,000s, and then you don't even think about it. Just buy it. And your balance is going to be really bad, because this is unnatural move. It's an unnatural. Just know it for what it is. So keep an open mind for that. But that's why I actually don't like buying more here. I don't want to buy more here. I've already bought. Remember, we've already bought here. We've already bought here on my channel. We called the bottom when we got this breakout of this candle here. Where is it? This candle. This candle here confirmed the bottom. And I did emergency update, crypto bottoms here. Right? But a lot of people didn't believe that, but it did. Now, here it is. So, guys, if it bounces and fails, I will reaccumulate. Here, it's too early to reaccumulate, only because of that scenario. That's how I'll manage my risk. I think this would be too greedy and not good money management. So just wait, and we'll see what happens. So I think that answers the question. Yeah, and again, I don't look at news. So the Mt. Gox, shit, and the German government, I don't care about those guys. There's always somebody selling. Somebody's always selling something, right? There's always a hack, FUD in crypto. There's always news to make the novice investor scared to sell their Bitcoin. That's the reason. They want someone scared to get you to sell your Bitcoin, right? I don't care about Mt. Gox. Fuck Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox has been around since I've been trading this. When Bitcoin was under $1,000, guys. They've been dropping Mt. Gox bullshit like all the time. So you just gotta ignore that stuff. Just look at the chart. Let the chart guide your actions. The news is just interesting entertainment. But it does also explain a little bit to us some of the movement, because there are people that will fall for the news and sell. So you're like, there is sellers here because they believe the news, but the news is not that. It's just something the sellers are leveraging to exasperate the panic. That's all they're doing, like a poker game, right? They're just taking advantage of the news. They're like, shit, look at this news. Let's take advantage of it, spread the fear, and maybe some fools will drop their Bitcoin, and we'll instead of getting it at 58,000, I'll get it at 53,000, and I'll pocket 10%. And they're cool, and maybe a lot more. So I think that's all that's happening, guys. That's all that's happening with this Mt. Gox, and the German government. And again, the German government's, when we're 10 years from now and Bitcoin is way up here, people are going to be like laughing at the German government. Like, are you guys freaking idiots? Why were you selling it? You had like a national asset that's probably in the future is going to be represent power that they're just giving up for God knows what they're going to spend it on. Natural gas. I heard natural gas or something. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that's my rant on Bitcoin, guys. I would not want to sell it, but I will reaccumulate if we can get a better bounce and it fails. I will reaccumulate in that position. BT. Let's go to your other stocks. I did longer in crypto because I think it's an important topic given what we're seeing right now. But normally I don't spend that much time on things. BT guys, gave that setup, and again everyone's like, oh, you should have bought it. Again, we were buying it way back here, and our wick we had to buy at 292. It hit 298. Obviously, it's finished. It's ready for a massive breakout. So there you go. The dip. That was the dip. It's over. And now it's ready to break out in 3 of 3. I still think it's a bull trap eventually, and B, more than likely will exceed this peak at 532, and then something will happen. All right, that was pretty simple one. Migi, how's that one doing? Again, we had it in wave 3. It looks like you have a 1-2, 1-2. Again, this looks like wave 3 is about to hit. Out in a bigger 1-2. So again, we've been following this on our channel, and we're about to maybe get a massive breakout on this one. And again, I have no idea what the hell these guys do. I don't know what they do. So again, it looks like it's being accumulated here, and we'll come out of this. That's what it looks like to me. Again, if you're patient enough. But who's going to be impatient and not wait? So that's the count. Now, could the other bearish cases could be 3 waves up. It could be 3 waves up. But when I was looking at the smaller degree, it looks impulsive. But let's take a look at and confirm here. As you could see, it does look like an impulse here, and that looks like an impulse here. So it doesn't really, I don't really consider it. I don't really consider it. And 3 waves, but yeah, I don't know, maybe could it be an ABC? Let's see. You see how this peak is below these peaks? That's typically when you have a 3rd wave move. On the 3rd wave, the peak will exceed that peak. So that's another sign. Let's see here on the 4-hour. You did get that a little bit here. So there's a little bit of danger. The cycle broke here. So there's a possible bearish case. I would have a stop loss here at 133 just in case. this doesn't play out. But it's at the moment it's at a big decision point, because if this pattern breaks down, it's gonna have a waterfall sell off. Going all the way. So this is an important moment for this stock, but it looks like it wants to go, right? It just looks like it wants to go. And then Wolf. All right, we've been labeling this. So we have a 3, a 4, and we're in our final 5 in the danger in the sell area. So this could reverse at any moment unless it erased divergence. So let's take a look at what's going on here. Bigger picture. Bigger picture. So you got the bearish divergence. I would keep an eye on the daily. If the daily can come up and take out that peak, then this will extend beyond this area. But right now it's in danger. It's in a danger zone. It's in a danger zone for reversal at some point. But it will be just wave 4. So probably drop back down to this area and then actually make another high, marginal high. So, okay, let's go to the next super chat. Kerwin for 5. How does GME break in all-time highs and Tesla at 700 sit with the SPY head into, and I'm trying to map. Yeah, I mean, you always want to consider those things, right? You want to consider like the bigger market dynamics. So there's and that may be how you find clues on what the indices are going to do, because some stocks may negate a crash in the indices. And if they do, then the indices aren't going to crash. Then there is no wave 5. There is no 80% correction. It won't happen, right? It's just going to keep extending. So the SPY, this is a major top here in this area that I have circled, 600s. Maybe even if we're lucky, get to 700 SPY. So, okay, so this is the major top. So what does this mean? And also, GME trades more with the IWM. The IWM top is here at 260. So what could happen with GME? Well, I could make this really simple, right? It could make all-time highs in a 3-wave move, right? And again, this is messy. I'm not going to erase my chart, but I will kind of give you an idea. This could easily become a 3-wave move, a big, and it moves like this. In the next 6 months, it breaks the high, and then that's it. It's game over. Maybe we make 146, 155, and then it goes all the way down either to 0 or it comes down to here over the next 3 to 4 years or longer. That's how it does it, right? That's how it does it. And then Tesla would be the same thing, right? It would be a similar type of move. SPY goes to 700. More than likely, Tesla's going to be up here in this area when that happens. When that happens, Tesla's here, and guess what? You have 5 waves up. What happens at 5 waves? It corrects. So it corrects. So guess what it's going to do? It's probably just going to do something like that as the indices crash. And that's what all the big cap stocks are going to do. That's what's going to happen. And then guess what? It's going to bottom, and it's going to keep going higher in the next generation, right? So these do sync up. Now here it doesn't sync up with that picture, right? The indices, that's why you can't say, oh, the indices are going to crash, because if the indices crash, then you believe Tesla's going back to $40, guys. So you back into the low in the indices. That's why you back into the forecast. The indices can't crash because there's stocks that just can't go down anymore. They're already so low. Now, Nvidia is not one of those, right? Nvidia has a lot of room to correct. Facebook, a lot of room to correct. But there's other stocks that don't really have room to go down anymore. That they're kind of like, what do you think? They're going to go bankrupt? I mean, that's preventing the indices from collapsing, really. So Tesla's a good example of that. So Tesla, so the indices can't crash. Tesla, like when Tesla was at 156, how can the indices crash? Because last time I checked, Tesla's in the SPY. So so it's like, what, is Tesla going to 40? It isn't. So that's putting a floor on the indices. These stocks like that are behind, lagging, big cap stocks that are lagging. Now the ones that have surged, they have room to go down, But unfortunately, the indices is like many more stocks than that, than Nvidia. Even if Nvidia corrects in that sector, there's a lot of sectors that can make up for that by going higher, right? We're already seeing acceleration again in the software space, right? They're taking, as semis kind of are like chopping around a little bit. I got Amazon breaking out too, guys. Got Amazon breaking out. Amazon breaking out. So if you think the indices are going to crash right here, right now, then you think Amazon's going to go all the way back down to like back down to here, 147, 137. The people are so bullish on Amazon right now, the professional invest, like there's no way it's going back down. So like Microsoft, like it's just not going to happen. So that's why we're going to need more upside, but eventually there'll be enough upside. And then these things are going to have to correct. These things are going to have to correct from this low all the way back down to October 22. The October 22 low will have to correct. And that will set you up. That could set you up for a crash in the indices when those cycles all end. When we look at stocks and there's no more stocks to buy, there won't be, because I'm not going to want to buy Tesla when it's up here. I'm not going to want to buy Nvidia. I don't even want to buy Nvidia really now, but I mean, you could trade Nvidia. But like when all the stocks are like up in these areas at all, like way beyond all-time highs, Adobe's at 1,000, all those things, it's like, hey, it's time to maybe leave the market, because that's the end. There's no more opportunity anywhere. So, but this was opportunity. AMD's opportunity. There's a lot of opportunity still in some of these bigger stocks, even Disney to some extent, for another swing higher. So there's some big stocks, right? If you think Disney should do this. Now, do you think Disney is going to go to $35? Well, then, okay, the indices are going to crash right here, right now. Then Disney will just drop to $35, but it's probably not. So Disney needs to run more. Disney needs to run more, and then it could correct back down later. All right? So that's how I kind of look at that. So Anonymous, another YouTuber missed $1 million. Forecast that Bitcoin Cash hit in, wow, 50,000. That's insane, man. I'll be a millionaire if that happens. Shit. That would be crazy. Is it possible? Well, it has the same scarcity equation as Bitcoin, right? Very scarce supply. There is a lot of people that believe in Bitcoin Cash out there. There is a community. And then just by the scarcity of it, it has a potential to moonlight that. But what would it take? Obviously, we need a Bitcoin Cash ETF. I think that's the first thing I would look for. Is someone going to drop? Is Grayscale going to drop a Bitcoin Cash ETF and get that going? Get some money flowing in there. That would be the first thing. But yeah, let's look at this pattern. So again, you got to have a big time horizon. What I see here, big double bottom. I see a big basin that we're going to start coming out of the basin phase, which could take multiple 4-year cycles. This could take multiple 4-year cycles to get out of here. Now, it doesn't have to, but as you can see, it does tend to moon. So perhaps this wave 3, I still think this wave 3 has a potential in this cycle to tag the 4,000 area, maybe. I don't know if it can break out in this 4-year cycle, but it might. But again, if you just look at this pattern, this is the first target is $10,000. So Bitcoin Cash at some point in the future, I don't know when, will be $10,000. And you can save this video. I promise you it's going to be $10,000. I don't know when. Now, 50,000, I mean, the mathematics behind it support that, but the time, I don't know how long that's going to take. Because the fractals, this fractal, it does it. I don't like these fractals. You see how when Bitcoin Cash goes, man, it goes vertical, but its crashes are horrific. So you may see it come up to 10,000, but it may crash all the way back down. Like it may do something like that. And then you got to wait another 20 years to come back out to 50,000. So that's the problem I have. The fractals are scare me a little bit, but I could see 10. But I can't tell you when or where that's going to happen. But that's the fractal. So now so I take it one target at a time. The next target is 1600. So I'm looking for 1600 is the next target, and then we'll see what happens here. Let's go to Mike, your super chat. Let's go to CMG. We'll do that here. CMG is, oh, that's Chipotle. It split, huh? We lost our chart. We're gonna have to redo it. So we have to redo our chart. So right away, first big picture, we'll go to the monthly time frame. The monthly RSI has not exceeded these peaks, so we haven't seen wave 3 yet. You're like, how could you mean you haven't seen wave 3? Well, we haven't. We haven't taken these out. You know, and in fact, you almost got a breakout. So I think we are entering the parabolic phase of Chipotle, the mania phase. Let's take a look at the count. And this is again, a lot of people would put a 3-4 there, but see, you're about to race divergence. You probably already did, and that's not surprising. And so it's just gonna keep going higher. I mean, people love Chipotle. I mean, there's people that only eat there every day, and you know, they're like wealthy millennials and Gen Zs, or even not wealthy. They just love eating there, and they're addicted to it. And they don't care if their bowl's half full or that they're just going to go every day, and they give them their money, and that's how it goes. Now, you know, I make my own food at home, you know, so I don't spend my money at Chipotle, unless I'm traveling on work, then I'll buy it. But there, so it looks like to me, yeah, we got our cycles off a little bit here. Maybe not. Yeah, we have our cycles off a little bit. Something like this. So this first 3 is done. So I'm looking at it this way. This could be a flat, but yeah, I mean, let's just say it's a flat for now. This would be like a 1, 2, 1, maybe 3, 4. So one more low. It may need one more low. It's tough to say. Flats are tricky to predict. If it is, and again, I can be wrong. But I would be looking for like one more marginal low. That this is a 4, and it just drops down to like 59, 58. Like that. Something like that maybe. You know, I'll go with this chart for now. I'm kind of 50-50 on it, but I think I'll just go with that for now. But it should continue higher. And I've always say that this could become another 1, 2. It could just accelerate, keep going. Okay, your next one is CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike, we called the low on our channel. I think it's on my Twitter, maybe. I think I put it on my Twitter. We called this swing low here, literally to the penny, guys. I put this on my channel. I'm almost certain I was on my Twitter. This right there, this buy at 92. But so many people didn't want to buy it there for some reason. Now we're in wave 3. So we have a new buy set up at 274. I've been patiently waiting, but it looks like the market has other plans. It looks like that was probably the bottom. So we just truncate it. So more than likely that's your truncation there, and that's probably just another 1, 2. So it's about to go vertical. It's about to go vertical. It's about to see the power of wave 3 of the grand super cycle. Boom. and you could just use your imagination on how high it will get. All right, next is JP Morgan. The banks have been doing okay lately, which is always good to see that. I don't know where we have. I guess interesting. No one's ever asked for it. So again, big picture. We've never taken out the 1996 peak in JP Morgan, so that means we're still in wave 3 of some kind. Here, there's a lot of cycles here. We're actually going to have to go to the quarterly time frame to do this properly. I'm going to say what is this? The 02, so this is the dot-com crash. So that's probably your first cycle right there. And then I'm sure the 08, yeah, the 08 financial crisis was another cycle, but that low held. And then this was some major correction here. The interest rate campaign by the Feds, boom. Now we're in wave 3 of 3. That looks pretty bullish, man. JP Morgan looks like it's entering its wave 3, but on the shorter cycles, it's probably due a pullback, right? It's probably due a pullback. Yeah, it's probably wrapping up the first impulse. Yeah, I don't know what this 1, 2. Yeah, I think I'll just label it this way. I think this one we'll just label it this way. So this first impulse is coming to an end. This isn't a big enough extension, so it's probably just another 1, 2. So I'll be looking for a pullback soon to 183. Don't the banks report soon, right? So be careful long positions going into earnings with the bearish divergences on the higher time frames. You see that? So you may want to be really cautious. You may see a correction in the banks with earnings coming up. I guess we'll find out pretty soon if we get this wave 2. I'll be surprised if it just moons, but I can't rule that out. The extension, it's just anything's possible, but it just seems so extended. It's due a bigger correction in this 2 for more upside in the future. Okay. All right, the next one is Crypto Mickey. Hey Sage, can you look at the IWM? Yeah, the small caps are frustrating. I think that they may be waiting for the Fed to actually start their rate reduction campaign, and then they'll start taking off. I do think it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. So there was a lot of 1, 2s, but that was negated with that drop. So I call this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a 3-wave move. It could still drop to 199.15 to finish this. So I wouldn't be surprised, but it's coming. It's starting to run out of time here. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. But a lot of the small caps are turning higher. They're being supported. So it's a breakdown would be a surprise to me. But I do think there's a chance of a bigger correction here. Right here. I think this is too soon. But although technically we did, you could put that there. I think it needs one more low here, and then we'll have to wait and see what happens. Yeah, I think the small caps is just testing traders' patience again. It's testing people's patience, and like we saw with Tesla, you got to be patient. Now, if we break this low here, that's a whole different story, right? That's a different story, but we'll have to wait and see what the market does. All right. Next is Mike Riley, I think. is the symbol. Let's see what's going on here. We had it enter in wave 3, so it's entering. It's about to break this low, and then you'll see a waterfall sell-off. So this is about to have a waterfall sell-off moment. There's really nothing else to show. I mean, this chart is playing out just like we had it. So it's going down. The ship is sinking. Right? B. Riley Financial is going down, man. That ship is sinking ship. And I don't know why. I don't know if it deserves to, but no one wants to be in it anymore. Kaled, I'll take a look at these for you. Silver is good. It's to me, it's still 50-50 if silver is going to be a wave 4 or 5. I mean a 4 or a wave 2. So I have it as a 4, and we get a 5 to $35 with a bigger pullback. Back down to like 28, maybe as low as 26, and then it moons like probably beyond 50. So whenever this pullback ends. Now, the problem is it could already be in a 1-2, and it could already moon. The thing with silver is it's already broken out of its consolidation pattern here and closed above it. This multi-year since 2020. So chances are that should give us enough energy to this 48 target. And obviously the big prize, you have to have your eye on the prize, is the big cup and handle of our generation, of our lifetime. That should finish at some point in the next 10 years. And when it does, silver should be 300 plus an ounce. Easy. So how this plays out, I don't know. Obviously, there'll be a short squeeze. It will be a historic short squeeze that I'm sure institutions will go out of business when this plays out. When this plays out, they're going to have to bail out banks and reverse trades, and all that shit's going to happen, because my guess is this has been a money tree for short sellers for God knows how long, but it's now over. The money tree is over, but yet people are naively and foolishly still shorting it. And that they're the ones right now, whoever is short in silver and hard right now, since this area, the last 5 years, they're probably going to go out of business. I mean, unless they cover, they should cover, breaking this high is get me out of the shorts. But they probably are too overconfident, given, it's been a money tree. Then we'll squeeze, and then there won't be. That's what's going to get it to the prices in the $300 area. And when that happens, those individuals are going to go bankrupt, and they could be major banks. They could be major financial institutions, because I've heard that banks love to short and load up shorts on silver for God knows what reason. And then I'm sure they'll pass laws in the future that prevent that. But I think you're going to see a financial mini crisis associated with silver doing that. And if you study your history with silver back in the 1980s, they said that they almost brought down the entire financial system. The same, idiocy, people shorting it, and they said the whole financial system almost collapsed back here. When there was a lot of stories about what happened there, but they said, yeah, but even back then, the whole damn thing almost blew up because of silver doing something like that. So that's why you want to also own real silver, because maybe this paper silver shit they just stopped trading it. They're like, okay, those trades are reversed. I don't know, but anyway, this is the chart. The chart's been playing out. I think it's a 5 until proven otherwise. The next one you had is Dell. Yeah, I'm watching Dell. Again, Dell's, I don't want to buy it here, but I want to buy it if it takes another dip lower. And it may do it, it may not do it. This is the count that I've been playing around with. The reason I have Dell in this count is because we broke this low here and here. So if we do break down 109, great opportunity, which would be the wave 4 cluster. So this is where I'm patiently waiting for this, and honestly, I think this one has more likelihood of doing that. than all the other ones that I've been following. But you'll have to do what's best for you. If that's the case, then we should see some heavy selling next week on it, and as it enters wave 3 to the downside. The next is ACHR, Archer Aviation, an airline. Looks like we got our wave 3, right? We called the wave 3 on our channel, and we have the bearish divergence. But you see how this peak hasn't taken that out, so it's still just another 1-2. So it's not a wave 3, but it's just another 1-2, and it's just going to keep extending. It's hard to say if this is finished, but it looks like it found support there at the wave 4 cluster. So good luck on that. All right, the next one for JPO for 5, AAP. Let's do AAP, Advanced Auto Parts. Ooh, what's going on there? It's in a bear decline. I thought these stocks were bullish. All right, well maybe not. Looks like a big flat here, right? 3, 3, and then you come down in an impulse. So that's still, no, by my system, that gets you down to these areas, 26.77 in a grand supercycle correction. Let's take a look at this though. This bounce is pretty strong. Yeah. So there's two ways to trade it. It's either already bottomed. It's already bottomed here. It's already bottomed here, or this is just a 1, 2, and you'll get 3, 4, 5. So this is a very important pivot, 47.61 here. So we'll just say it's bottomed for now, but if that low breaks, then the more bearish scenario is in play. You don't have any divergence, so this could be corrective. So you got to be really careful if you're in it, and this actually looks impulsive on the way down. So I would be really careful in this. I don't know why it's so bearish. I always thought these guys were pretty bullish, these auto parts guys. But it could be something, you know, we'll see something soon like this. This should be bouncing soon. But you have to do what's best for you. I think right now, looking at the chart, there's potential for more downside. But there's also a chance that, well, now see, it's 5 down. So I think there's a danger. This chart's in danger of a breakdown. It's in danger of a breakdown. Back down to this area of support. A full round trip for investors. Okay, BBAR. Some kind of Argentina bank. All right. A lot of ways to look at this chart. I see 3. I definitely see some kind of impulse out here with a 5-wave move down. 5, 3, 3. So it looks like a huge flat pattern that finished. But let's take a look at the high. We have to go to like the quarterly. Yeah, actually that's 5, so it's a little different. And that's 5 there. Yeah, this is an A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why. So that's your 3. That's your 3, and there's your 5. Yeah, so I would label it this way. So I think it's in the next cycle higher. It probably will break this high, and you know you can just use your imagination how high it can go. I do think I like to see a continuation higher. Right, something like that. So if you can get that fifth wave, that absolutely confirms that that's a major low. So it looks like it's trying to decide right now, are we going to get a fifth wave or not? And again, this could always be another 1-2 and it moons. It's trying to break out of this. That should get us up to 22. You know, so don't be surprised if you get like a little bit of up and then it pulls back again and then comes out. It could also, like I said, be a 1-2. But right now, that's how I label it. And then Cleveland Cliffs. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on it. I just don't like where it's trading right now. So I've got 5 off the low, which is great. Historic chart means we're going to go much higher in the future, but you're in this massive correction here. I don't like how we bottomed on this correction here. This seems like too optimistic, especially coming out is more. This looks like more of a connector wave. That's why I wouldn't be surprised to see a dump back down into this area. So I'm just kind of waiting. I'd like to, I personally like to buy it right around $9 in the $9 area, and we could be on our move there right now. We could be moving that way, but you'll have to do what's best for you. I do think though when it does break out in wave 3, there's gonna be a lot of money to be made in this. But I think we're in something like this right now. And that gets you to 957. Now, if I'm wrong, then this truncate it, and then this is some kind of 1-2, 1-2. So to negate that, we need to take out this high here. So if we take out 24, then it's much more bullish. And then I would even momentum trade this and just get into trade, because when this thing goes, it goes essentially vertical. So maybe maybe it's way to play this is stay safe. And then, okay, if it breaks 24, go long and get it up at 100 plus. If it doesn't break 24, then you can wait and get it down here. But I think buying it here is kind of guessing at, you're just like flipping a coin, hoping, because but I suspect we'll go down like this, but you'll have to do what's best for you. Anonymous, okay, for 5 again, opinion on paying short-term capital gains tax versus holding for lower long-term capital gains. Yeah, I don't care about tax when I sell stock. I think it's one thing I have in common with Kramer, because I think he always says that too. Like, you can't worry about your tax situation. You got to take your profits. You got to take your profits when you have them, because you can lose them all, and then you have nothing to tax, right? So I think you just let's say you were in TSLL and it doubled. You doubled your money in what, 4 or 5 days, depending on how long you held it. Okay, I don't want to pay taxes, so I'm just going to hold. Well, shit. What if you lose half of it? I mean, you just gotta do it. I don't worry about the tax situation. That does not enter my mind. Now, what enters my mind is wash trading, and if you guys don't know what that is, you need to understand that. I had a roommate that didn't know what that meant, and he got screwed with like $100,000 tax bill, and he didn't have the money because he wash traded that shit, and he wasn't able to offset that gain with a loss. And like an idiot, the IRS was after his ass, and I felt bad for him because we were trading the dot-com bubble. This was back in the days, man. He was in the dot-com bubble, and I felt bad for the guy because he was like 19 years old. But he was up like $300,000-$400,000 at 19 years old. But that was the dot-com era, right? But so you gotta know what wash trading is, and those things. But I don't like worrying about paying tax and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I'm like, I have to take the profit, so you get ahead in this game. AMC, yeah, it's still it's at the mercy of the Russell index to some extent, and the rest of the small cap sector. But you know, we had this one we called the pull. Now we're in this pullback. The pullback could actually drop to this 470 area, so it's still into. I don't know when this will end. When the Russell correction ends, when the IWM ends, this ends. When the IWM moons, this should moon. I mean, that's the bottom line. Now, of course, we could have an anomaly event, a news event, pump it, but this is the count I'm going with, and you'll have to just kind of do what's best for you on that. WCC for Meta. Um, um, okay, this is an interesting chart. Let's see, monthly time frame. So we're still in wave one of the super cycle. Looks like we've got some kind of yeah, I'm gonna call the more bullish count. Something like this. And there's somewhere there's your yeah, there's your 3, 4, 5. So my guess, this is my guess here. Something like that. But I don't think that's this wave 3. I think it's another 1, 2. So you're still in this wave 2. So you could see this price drop back down to this area here, this wave 4. So I think you're possibly in a higher degree correction. You see how you're breaking down on the quarterly chart, the monthly chart too. So I think you got to be careful of a higher degree correction in a flat that's about to rug pull people. Boom. But this is your area of support, and then once this is finished, it should moon. So I would be concerned that you're correcting. You're doing something like that right now, and then you come out of that. What do these guys do? Some kind of logistics or whatever. All right, well, we'll see if that works out like that. Sound is trying to bottom in turn. Soundhound is trying to, again, trying to turn like the Russell's trying. It's trying its hardest, but it's just not getting any help. It's not getting any help. All right, so we had our buy area here at 374. So it's probably, this is the do or die. So I would put a stop loss there at 382. It's clearly this cycle's over with this pump. So it looks like to me it's trying to turn out in wave 3 of 3. It's trying to come out of this. So if this count is still bullish, this is the moment. This is its moment right now. If this is a 1-2, 1-2, this is where your money is going to be made in it. But if we do break down again and break that low, then more than likely this low will break and it will go all the way back down, and I wouldn't want to trade it anymore. You see how big this bounce was? It corrected the whole move. So this is an important low. So I do think it's if this is the right count bullish, it's ready to go vertical. All right. Next is Florian. Hello Fresh, HFG. Okay, looks like it's a German, some kind of German stock or something. Well, you see how you broke that low? So that's always a bad sign. That's usually, I call those go to zero signs. This is not a flat, so it looks very impulsive, and this looks like 1, 2. So it's probably in danger of bigger declines. Now this is interesting here, this top. It double top there. Yeah, no matter what this top, see, it's really a strange chart because you've got 5 waves up. Yeah, you're not going to get any clues from the chart data. So, you know, when I look at this, see if I look at this 5 here, it would top there. So if it's so it looks like to me a flat potentially, actually looking at it from that perspective. So I would just label this as a flat for now. That needs this to finish an impulse. It looks like it's about to enter wave 4. So be looking for something like that. And of course, it will have a challenge of staying in business. There's no guarantee it will be in business. Like, that's the problem. Grand supercycle corrections, the stocks can go to zero, and they do go to zero. There's no guarantee wave 3 ever happens. Once you get into the grand supercycle, some stocks never make wave 3. So as sad as that is, so once the grand supercycle's over, there's no guarantee. But if it can survive it, yeah, this is the count. And I think I got through all my super chats. So I'll just go through a couple more comments. I'll start at the top here where I think I remember where I left off. ACHR, didn't we just do that one, or was that something different? Yeah, we already did ACHR. Tesla, already did Tesla. AI, okay, we haven't done AI in a while. AI is an interesting one because it's turning up. And again, investors are really, really excited about it. So this is the chart I have. So I think this is a counter trend rally that's going to fail. But you have to do what's best for you. So I'm not FOMOing in. To negate that, we would need to take out 33. But I believe this is a bull trap happening right here because we broke these lows. Like, you had 3 swings. This could have been the bottom here. Then we broke it, and I want to see one more swing down. I wish I had better news, but that's the way I look at this stock right now. But you have to do what's best for you. If we do come down to this area, I will buy it down in this area if we can come back down there. It'll be interesting to see its position. It should fail soon. If it you know, you look at that though. That's pretty that's like a 3 swing move with a 5 top. Yeah, maybe I'm not as maybe I'm too bearish on this Maybe I'm too bearish. Yeah, I'm too bearish. So it just truncated. If you look, you see that? That's a massive capitulation move. So this just truncated here. It has to be the low there. It has to be the low. Looking at the RSI, you see you have 3, but here you don't have that third. See, it's not an ideal. It's just not an ideal correction. It's just not ideal. It's still, you know, visually it looks incomplete. It looks incomplete, but technically, looking at how that maybe it can make another high. So maybe it's just still in a big connector wave of some kind. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do. We'll have to change it up and put it in like a big ass connector wave, and we fell later, and X can go higher, and we do something like this. That's probably what we're doing. I bet we're doing something like that. And then this is like a 1-2, 1-2. We'll go with that for now. I think that will take into account both situations I just saw, and then we come back down at some point later. You could see 42 right here, and then drop. So we'll see what happens. Did I get another super chat? Here, yeah, Ryan Towler, Frey. Yeah, let's go to those and see. Thanks for the 20. Frey battery. That's a new one. It's a new one for us. Another one of these go to 0-1. So let's see here. Three flat. It's turned into a big flat correction. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, one more low. If it can survive. One more low, and then I guess it could moon. Maybe they get their shit together, you know, or at least have a substantial relief rally. So looking for 81 cents. This area, and as long as it doesn't erase divergence, you should see a pretty considerable bounce that lasts many months, right? Even if it's corrective, it could come back up to $10. It could come up to $10 later. All right. Thanks. And then CVAC, CureVac. I think we called this C leg, and it looks like it's moving higher. We're trying to. I don't like that. Although see erase divergence, so it probably truncate it. So if this is the right count, we should be blasting off any moment. Looks like it tried to. Yeah, or started to. You see there, you didn't erase it, but on the higher time frame you did. So I don't know. It's not enough data to call that low in, but you get the idea. All right, thanks for the super chat. Let's see. I'm curious in PayPal, man. I'm curious. I'm going to look at PayPal because we looked at Square. Square looked like it was ready to kind of turn higher, like finding a low. I wonder if PayPal found the low, and it did. Look at that. See how the market just syncs up so eloquently, like Bitcoin finally found its low, Square did, and PayPal did all at the same time. It's all in sync now. Yeah, this would have been a buy right there. So this is a good opportunity. Maybe I would say that this should hold, and we'll see if we can get a pump out of this thing and get this wave 3 going. That's what we're hoping for. We'll see if it happens. So that's what it looks like. And again, we had this buy area for a while on our channel. We've been waiting, and we got it probably with that Bitcoin dump. And then now we're coming out. Maybe we'll get that move. So then let's take a look. Can you go over your Twitter alerts? I just post randomly when I feel like I have important news to share. I don't. This is not a formal like channel. Not yet, at least. There's no. It's all free. So you just get my I may give an alert, but I never say copy my trades because I get in and out of them at any moment. And I always post my charts and I say do what's best for you. I can be wrong, and I have been wrong, but boy, I've been right too, right? You can go on my Twitter, look at Wingstop, guys. That thing's up like 400% almost since I posted that chart. Like, so sometimes my charts nail it, sometimes they're wrong, and sometimes I'm in the trade, sometimes I'm not. So you just got to do what's best for you. You got to have your own system, your own alerts, your own way of doing things. But maybe one day I'll have a paid be paid subscription, and you'll get more of support. I guess more organization behind the messaging and how to get in and out of things. But that's not what this is. Just kind of giving people ideas. But you always, like I always say, you have to do what's best for you. Unfortunately, everybody has their own personal situation at home and your families and your financials. So maybe you're trading with money that you don't give a shit about. You go to zero, and so you take a lot of risk. And maybe you're trading your rent money and you can't. So you got to do what's best for you guys. Yeah, I know, Halstone. I think every update I looked at today, my chart actually was accurate. I don't think I had a bad chart today. Every chart. So Halstone's thanking me, guys. That's what you got to get the word out. I'm telling you guys, this is all free. I'm just giving you guys free setups, just helping people out because there's so many bad traders on the internet giving you bad setups, telling you to do the wrong thing, and it just pisses me off. That's why I started this channel. But we're on a roll. We are on a good. We have nailed a lot of things. Not everything. There's been a couple misses here and there. I think there's a couple misses here and there. But you double your money, and Tesla pays for itself. AMD yesterday paid for it. So so they pay you. When we hit, man, we hit hard, and when we miss. We just miss by a little bit, and we get out and we leave. You don't get hope. Like, oh, I'm going to hope it's going to turn around. Like, we don't hope on this channel. We trade like computers. We just say, if it breaks, you're like, all right, goodbye. I'm out. I want nothing to do with it. Plug Power, fuck that. I'm out of it. Lost a little bit of money on Plug Power, but you know what? I made up for it in so many other things. I don't care about Plug Power anymore. I'll never think about Plug Power. Didn't work out. Trade didn't work out. So that's one that doesn't work. Sometimes they don't work. Yeah. MU next up. Yeah, I think so. MU. Okay. MU was weak yesterday. Was weak. While AMD was strong. So I mentioned this before. MU has got a massive historical chart that's super bullish, guys. This is a 25-year cup and handle that just broke out. 25 years. I mean, we're talking 25 years of consolidation. Holy shit. And we just broke out? I mean, do you really think that's it? That's all we're going to get is 30 bucks? No way. There's no way. This thing will be in the thousands of dollars in the future. So this is a long-term investment opportunity. But where do you want to get in? Well, you don't want to buy it on the top, right? I mean, that's stupid. So you get it on a pullback, and you're getting a pullback right now. Here's your pullback. You have 3 waves. So there. So 127's got to hold, and if that holds, it's just going to keep going higher. Now, if it doesn't hold, we're dropping to 110. And then we may even back test the breakout here at 100. And then I would relabel this instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this would just be a higher degree cycle. But this would be like long-term investors, you just have to buy it here. I mean, if this happens, I mean, people are just foolish for some. I mean, but let them be foolish, you know. So this is a massive long-term investment opportunity. Now for a day trader, yeah, you could try to long it here, put a stop there, and maybe you get lucky on a semiconductor pump that may emerge soon. Another one, or you know. So that's how I look at MU. Very similar setup like Nvidia is right now. So it's kind of the same trade in some ways, but we need to wait. It was pretty weak yesterday, so I need to wait and see how this thing, what's going to happen next week. But again, if it does this, I mean, this is like, just take the free money. This is just free money, man. So yeah, I do like MU. But even here, it's tradable as long as you stop out here. You stop out here. Okay. So then just kind of going back through, it looks like I got another super chat from Aviation. Could you look at CYN, please? CYN. Sign another one of these historical go to zero charts. Let's see. This is a connector. Okay, it's a connector. So it's the only way I could play this is try to play it in three waves. You're not going to get any help there. So this is probably an A. A 5-wave move down. A, B, C. Right, something like that. So now the question is when we need an impulse. We need an impulse to end. So you got that bullish divergence here, right here. That's a 1-2. So I don't know. I don't think it's finished yet. So you're going to have to just do your Elliott wave count, and hopefully you get lucky and time it right, and you do your count right. But you're going to have to do something like this. My guess is this 5 is ending. You should get another 4 and 5. Yeah, so I think you'll do a bounce of some kind, and then you should get one more low, and then perhaps just maybe you get super lucky and you get a massive pump out of this, because then it will correct the whole thing. So I don't know. I mean, you could see something like a wick like this again, something like that again potentially. But it looks like to me it's due a bounce any moment, and that bounce will fail. And this bounce could be just something as simple as this, like a boom. It's just, and it's over before you even realize it. Alex, appreciate the super chat. Costs, yeah, that's one that's making the internet rounds, right? I haven't looked at this. No, I'm surprised no one's. I don't know if anyone's asked me about it either. Let's take a look at this thing. We got to go. Holy shit! So I guess when it pumps, huh? All right. We'll have to just do like a three swing type thing. Why is this so bullish? Is it just people is it a meme play, I guess? That's probably some kind of flat there. My guess is we're still in X, and we're in the X of X. We're in the X of X. So that should be sideways sideways choppiness. It should be sideways. So I would say that you're in some kind of B or X, probably B wave. 1, 2. Well, no, we'll have to call it an X. So we're in some kind of X wave. So it's going to get choppy. There's too many possibilities of what this could turn out to be. Um, so I would just take the money and run if you're in this thing, because it more than likely will turn into something, something crazy like that, or, it's XD, it's a connector within a connector. So it's going to be very choppy, very sideways. So, and it's just born. The connector is just born. So, and then it's probably got another drop at some point in the future, if it's even still around. So, but I don't know how high it can go. I mean, I guess it could come back up to 45 at some point. All right, that's how I leave it at. So I'll put that in our meme stocks. We'll keep an eye on it. Oh, cost was a roaring kitty, a straight meme. They follow GME. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a sideways to choppiness to higher. And then when the cycle ends across the market, this will end. This will end. Um, so I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I do want to take a look at Palantir for people. A lot of people with weak hands left Palantir a long time ago. Let's take a look at Palantir. So Palantir is ready to break out of this channel. I do think. So the question is, were we still in this too? This was so short, so truncated, right? The 4 is down here. Like you were looking for another swing lower, but we may not get it. It may be too bullish, especially if we're going to break out. Once we break out over 27, I think there's a chance it's susceptible to go vertical up into this area I had circled. The reason I have those areas circled, I don't have the box, but we actually called the low here at $8. So a lot of people that follow me have already been in this since down in these areas, and even we had a buy here even. So if I was in it, I would just hold it, continue to hold for these $70 area. It looks like to me, I guess there's a chance of a flat, which would be a miracle for a gift for you, a summer gift to down to 18, but it's looking less likely you're going to get that, and it's just truncated here. So I think you have to call that it's about to have a 3 breakout. I think you have to call that. But you have to do what's best for you. You have to do what's best for you. I mean, some people may call this like a 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is like a wave 5 and put the 1 up there. But I think we're going to erase divergence. You see how we're gaining momentum. So I don't think that's the count. But yeah, I have it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it's just it's really interesting how truncated here. Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate everything. And yeah, what's my best and worst trades? My best trades was buying Trade Desk when it right after the IPO in a YOLO trade, and that was my best one. And I bought it at like pre-split 30 bucks, maybe 40 bucks, and then I think I got out of it in $400 or something. That was a good one. The worst trade probably would be short in the indices and the SPY. So the SPY And this is why one of the reasons I don't do calls and puts, guys. They just piss me off. But when I used to do those back in the day, we were in a situation in the indices right here. This little cluster, this shit right here, this shit. We were in this shit. Okay, and what did Elliott Wave Sage do in this? I'm going to short it, right? But I'm going to buy puts, right? And just like and I was looking for this swing down, but every time, look, see, we didn't get it, and right about here when we got this candle, we were up about here. I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'll just take the loss and get out. So I lost a lot of money on that, and then sure enough, it fucking crashed. And I would have been up millions, guys, millions. It was a lesson that if you got to buy calls and puts, you got to hold to zero. So that was my lesson. Like I still had like 3 or 4 days to expiry on my puts, but it was after the Fed news event. And when the Fed news event came out and he was talking, I think he raised rates or he did some idiotic shit in December and raised rates, and then the market crashed. So that if I would have just waited through that, I would have got paid, and I would have been a different Elliott Wave Sage, because that was my worst trade. So after that, I don't do calls and puts because I just don't have the mentality for that shit anymore. But that's what happened here. So this is a lesson, a lesson in that. But if I would have just held to zero, let this shit go to zero, I would have won in the end. The house would have lost. But they scared me a little bit with this little pump, right? This final pump here scared. I was like, shit, I'm losing too much money on this. I want to just take what I have, and then that happened. Damn. Yeah. So that's the worst trade I've ever made, and ever since then I don't really mess with calls and puts anymore. And that's actually been a good thing because I made a lot of money since. So I'll end it on that, guys. Appreciate it. Talk to you guys later. Good luck.